only one team is going to escape. Take it away, guys.
It's also the last series of the fall split here, Jake, and we started this one off just 4 weeks ago. Kind of fitting we're going to be together to see it through to the end right now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a pretty great fall split. We've had Renegades dominating the split up until now. The big upset in the round of 8 that has led to this situation where Ground Zero, even up to the final game in the fall split, are still playing for that seeding, trying to get that first seed that is so important to them.
They would love to beat that #1 seed so badly. I mean, speaking to Torsos, it sounded like it was expected, almost should be given to them on the silver platter. However, with the fight we've seen from Forkidden, with the improvement that we've been able to witness, not just throughout, you know, the regionals as a whole, but even throughout the games today, it's going to be a tough final ask. Banana Head shutting down Express on their first real attack.
Well, we've talked about Forkidden. They've always been a team of high highs and low lows, getting that second when they first started and then struggling. That's a beautiful redirect from Express. A little bit like Lucky's to start the Riot series. That is just Express cherry picking there beautifully.
Yeah, and it comes at a situation where, unfortunately for Forkidden, there was a little bit of a demo behind the scenes. They're a bit too far forward. One of the few times we weren't seeing them swarm on defense, Ground Zero capitalizes. We've seen them get early leads before, though. Forkidden, they do bounce back.
Yeah, Ground Zero, they were certainly struggling last series. Near the end at holding onto those leads. We'll see, though, I still... Ground Zero, they tend to play a lot better once they get the break, once they start to think. You could, and normally when they come out of breaks, they come out of breaks aggressive. So eyes on them to, as you can see here, Emphas just throwing himself. It doesn't happen there, but he's looking for those chances.
Yeah, but again, those are the chances we're used to seeing Ground Zero hit, right? Like, that net was pretty open. If Advance had kept it down, we'd be looking at a 2-goal cushion. Instead, we're looking at the ball come back the other way. I must say, though, Jake, I am already noticing Forkidden, they're giving a lot more respect this time around, and Torsos almost makes them punish.
Yeah, it was really Forkidden's aggressiveness that helped them beat Ground Zero last series. When they were in their half, getting kind of dominated in the pressure in that first series, they just got absolutely wrecked. So we want to see Forkidden getting out of their half, playing fast, and like you're saying, not giving too much respect to Ground Zero. They've already just beaten them, but Ground Zero certainly have woken up to start this series.
Yeah, again, it's going to be a goal coming from Express. The ball was set up by Torsos, and Express just too quick to it. Able to drive that one straight to the middle of the goal. I'm with you, though. We want to see that aggressive Forkidden. We want to see that fun Forkidden. To get nostalgic one more time, we want to see the Forkidden back from the very first game of this season's stream, back when they were against Wildcard. Remember that 6-1 scoreline? Remember how crazy Super Lucky was? Let's bring it back all the way to that.
Yeah, I mean, that might be what they need, because I don't think Ground Zero are going to go out without a big fight. They don't want to give up that possible seeding that they're fighting for. And Forkidden, we've seen it. They're ready to bring it today.
That they absolutely are, although it has been Ground Zero, all Ground Zero, for our opening game in this third series. The veterans to the scene, just taking care of business for the moment, although Forkidden might be able to find something through this attack. Torsos will keep the ball slow across the backboard. Forkidden didn't want to take that risk until it was too late, and again, Ground Zero create all the space.
Look at Emphas, he's just pushing up the field looking for a redirect with 0 boost. It's just like, he's like unlocked that confidence meter, and it always looks a little bit funny when you first see it, but then after he hits 3 flip resets, you start to realize why he's doing it.
Oh, we might be able to see something like that right here. Instead, it's a straightforward double touch attempt. Ball is set up a little bit too low. Scrub, though, with a bit of space, will be able to do whatever they want with the ball. Flicking it up, gets it past Express. Super Lucky wins the challenge versus Torsos. And now a small opening shut down, eventually off the backboard, though. Dangerous position. Forkidden can't capitalize.
Yeah, nice recovery, though, from Express. But you can see Forkidden, they're really hungry for this goal. They're really making Ground Zero sweat and just beating them to the ball where, you know, that's the big change we've seen since that first series.
And after an incredible performance in games 6 and 7 for Forkidden, they're now looking a little bit sloppy, very slow on defense despite no pressure from Ground Zero, no goals scored, looking to get shut out after such an amazing series victory. Give another to Express. They get a hat trick in our opening affair.
Well, that was a little awkward. We had Torsos getting called off the ball twice, but it ends up going in the net. Great play there from Express. He had that shot lined up, and Super Lucky just put it in a difficult position to save that.
3-0 lead for Ground Zero. Control in our opening game, Jake. This has to be a little bit of weight off their shoulders, considering how that last series went, to come through in this opening game and just have this dominant start. You would be thinking, okay, now we're back on form. I can't help but feel like we've said this a couple times already, though maybe this one's going to be different.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely a confidence booster for Ground Zero. I mean, these guys, they always look confident, and you could see why, but still, you'd have to be doubting a little bit after that difficult end of the series, so it's really good for their mentality to start out really strong here.
Yeah, it's for the first of 4 important steps. Not to sound too cliche, will be Express looking to slow things down in the corner. Only 20 seconds remaining. One last shot will be saved by Super Lucky, who, despite letting 3 goals through, has had a few key saves in this one. It's sort of Scrub and Banana Head, who have gotten a lot quieter in this opening game, kind of waiting to see when they fire themselves up once more.
Yeah, Scrub was really the big reason they went 2-0 up in that last series. And I mean, that last series could have looked very different if they didn't get those first 2 games, because it was responded by Ground Zero winning 3 in a row. And then when Forkidden did get that mojo back, they only had to win 2 games to take out the series. So, you know, I'm a lot more worried for Forkidden if Ground Zero go 2-0 up than I was for Ground Zero if Forkidden go 2-0 up.
And look at the difference in shots in particular between this game and what we saw from Game 7 in that last series. Only 2 by Forkidden.
Yeah, to the 9 of Ground Zero. It's, you know, if you think of these teams and you go, what would like a classic game look like? You'd probably say this one, and it just goes to show like Forkidden's growth, that this is actually their new floor, the new like underperforming side of Forkidden since we've seen such high highs this tournament.
Yeah, it's only taken us 12 games to get to this point where we get a more conventional looking result. However, it's not one we feel we can ignore right now. Ground Zero, they dominated every facet of that game. This is the Ground Zero we were expecting to see from the start. This is the Ground Zero that's looking to be the #1 seed from Oceania.
Well, again, we did see it from the start, right? They just absolutely crushed that 4-0. And then they kind of forgot what was going on. Again, maybe a little bit of fatigue. It was really Forkidden showing up, though. But Ground Zero not even giving Forkidden a chance to step up there.
I mean, the results were a crush. I still saw 2 overtimes in that, Jake. I wasn't too sold. We'll see if they bounce it back. Game number 2 already underway.
Yeah, and Forkidden winning the kickoff. They want to start off aggressive. They want to get that first goal and just pressure Ground Zero, not let them get comfortable with any kind of lead.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do. Amphis actually kind of left that one for Express, who gets demoed. This is a promising sign. The physicality coming through once again. It was lacking in game number 1.
Ooh,
so too
nice
were
block.
the points. Banana Head's there, but unable to get it past Express.
Yeah, very lucky bump there from Amphis. He was actually very slow to that challenge. Just got a bit of his car onto Super Lucky, because I think Super Lucky would have had that, and that would have been a really big opening goal.
It would have been massive, and I feel like that's exactly what Forkidden should be looking for now. Very scary looking net situation. Ground Zero, they had so much time, but Banana Head comes through in the clutch.
I know, so much time, but absolutely no boost. It was a big demo there to get Express off his game. Torsos almost with a beautiful shot, but Banana Head with a great save.
And we're looking a little bit more like the Forkidden of the last series right now. The saves are coming through, so too were the setups. However, Ground Zero's defense will shut it down, and now all 3 Zero members moving forward. Shot from the ceiling out of Amphis will be saved. Possession maintained. Another look shut down by Super Lucky.
And they're starting to leave Express back. Torsos and Amphis getting very aggressive. It does feel like Ground Zero play their best when they do this, but they are definitely vulnerable to the demos that we were seeing out of Forkidden.
And we'll see if Banana Head is going to be able to find them once more. Banana Head at the moment just finding a setup. Torsos will go up high to shut it down. Scrub there. And that's that scrub positioning we've been looking to see. Ball bouncing in front of the net. Banana Head's driving the wrong way.
Yeah, no one quite ready for that gifted goal. Ground Zero messing up their rotations a little bit, and this game stays scoreless without, you know, some sketchy sides on both sides.
As we do see a ball bouncing around middle of the field. Amphis with control, causing multiple defenders to commit on that effort. Weak touch from Banana Head. Torsos there can only slowly dribble it further. Ground Zero again not able to capitalize. Both teams with opportunities. Super Lucky nearly had one there. No one can find it till Express. Oh, what a pass, what a goal.
Yeah, pinpoint pass there from Torsos. Express waiting for it so patiently, almost pre-jumping it. It's just a beautiful shot to beat the keeper in net.
I didn't even know Express could shoot at 139 kilometers per hour, but here we are, just got all of that one. Ground Zero again with the first goal, something that Forkidden, well, they let up a couple of first goals before, but they haven't been able to really sink any back in their favor yet this series. They will need to respond.
Yeah, and Ground Zero, you don't want to be giving them a lead. Forkidden, they've struggled to get on the scoreboard this series. They've had a few small chances, but overall, Ground Zero have been doing a good job of keeping them out.
I will say for the most part, though, Forkidden do look a bit more confident in the second game than the first one. However, that confidence will be tested as Express just muscles through another goal. That is, I believe, the fourth of the series already.
Yeah, Express doing it all himself, punishing Super Lucky for not challenging him early and just, like you're saying, muscling that ball through the net.
It was just really well read along the goal line as well. Express, the player from Ground Zero right now, stepping up and finding the most goals for the team. Not to take anything away from Amphis and Torsos, though. It's been their pressure opening him up, and it might be opening up another goal right now. Express has to lob it towards Torsos. Double commit by the defense opens the door. It will be knocked through eventually by Amphis, making this a 3-goal game.
Yeah, and it's getting panicked here for Forkidden, but how can you blame them? Look at Express looking for ceiling, backboard bumps, everyone just being so fast, and 3-0 up again. It looks like Ground Zero are going to take game 2.
That it does, and that is a massive 2-0 lead in this series. Again, Forkidden, they were the team that got the hot start in the first one, and despite a resurging Ground Zero, they were able to hold on. Now to expect Forkidden to resurge back against Ground Zero, that is a big ask. Maybe they can, well, start right now. It is Scrub getting the ball towards the backboard. Super Lucky tries for the read off the ceiling, but isn't there.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not done just yet. Something magical could happen. A minute and a half, definitely more than enough time for 3 goals. If everything goes your way, but not ahead. Accidentally saving Super Lucky's shot. They really needed that.
That's a bit of a heartbreak moment right there for Forkidden. They'll get another chance, but by this time, Torsos has made the save. Banana Head redirects, no power. Amphis clears it out. Another meatball up for grabs. Scrub, delicate touch, this time saved by Torsos, and the pepper just not there with Forkidden's touches. They're unable to break this defense.
Yeah, and time is not their friend. They're looking very threatening. You can probably back Forkidden to score sometime soon, but as long as Ground Zero hold on, the time ticks down, and 3 goals gets more and more difficult with every second that goes off the clock.
3 goals could be turning into 2 games at this stage. Both 2 games in favor of Ground Zero and 2 games away from that #1 seed. 42 seconds still left on the clock. Not going to be enough time for Forkidden, who second game in a row struggled to get any offensive pressure.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure's kind of there. They're kind of going back to that Riot style, what they were like against Riot, of relying more on those counterattacks. But yeah, they just haven't been able to get the goals from it, and it's disappointing. And Ground Zero really showing up, and we could be going to a 4-0 unless something big is changed from Forkidden.
Here's the thing about that exuberant energy of kids, right? They flame out quickly. They get really, really hot, really, really hyper. But then when they get tired, sometimes they just crash on the spot. And I'm not saying Forkidden has crashed out yet. However, we definitely don't see that same urgency at the moment. Maybe dropping down 2 games will wake it up. I would love to see a timeout right now taken by the Forkidden side.
I'd love to see a timeout too, but it's also difficult. Like, Forkidden, they're not playing particularly like bad or flat or anything. It's just they were playing amazingly in that last series, and Ground Zero were also dropping the ball at the same time. But it really feels like Ground Zero are playing at their best, playing how they like to play, and Forkidden just can't match it at the moment.
No, it feels as if we're finally starting to see a bit of that experience difference, a bit of, well, I guess that Ground Zero difference across the board. Forkidden are taking a timeout right now, so they are looking to regroup.
Sweet.
These timeouts have been used so effectively, I feel like, not just throughout this 3rd regional, but just throughout all of the regionals so far displayed. It's been really great to see the teams utilizing all their tools.
Yeah, it's important. Like you say, it's a tool that's, you know, some teams don't take when they really need it. And especially, you know, the big mistake we see is using it too late, because
exactly.
Once you get down 2-0, you can't afford to lose that next game. That next game is so important, and I'm really glad they know that. Looks like Amphis wants to have some dinner with that. So
yeah.
Might favor Amphis a
pizza
little bit
time
as well. A pizza break. Nice.
You know, that pizza would probably have tasted so much better had they already been, you know, securing that one spot right now. Although I imagine, like, it's looking pretty good. I'm getting pretty hungry myself.
I hope his fingers don't get greasy, though. I mean, if we see a few missed mechanics, we might know why coming out of Ampers.
Yeah, that's true, actually. You don't want your fingers to slip. There's nothing worse than greasy controllers, right? Like, that is literally the worst. I do hope he has some napkins there to keep his hands clean.
I'm sure he does. He's a professional after all. But yeah, Ground Zero looking really strong. I'm sure they're backing themselves to just keep this up. And eyes really on Forkidden to make a big change. It'd be really interesting to be hearing what they're strategizing at the moment.
Yeah, I'm so curious as well. Last time we saw this timeout was when Forkidden just attacked, and we saw that new aggression from Banana Head in particular. It felt like the timeout just lit the fire under his car. Things were ignited. I don't know if you've ever stuck a banana in the microwave before, but I'm pretty sure they explode if you leave them in there too long. I want to see that explosiveness come from Banana Head right now as we kick off game number 3.
I'm going to call out Ampus. It does not look like he has washed his hands after that piece.
Oh, no.
So I'm worried for his mechanics personally, and there's a mistouch coming out of Ampus. Big misplay in the timeout.
Oh no, this is why you gotta keep them clean. Torsos, well, that setup looked pretty clean. Unfortunately for them, the defense had it red as well. Back to that opposite end. Amphis, well, they've got the touch this time. Torsos gets the demo. Banana Head seals it away.
Yeah, and I mean, Ground Zero last series, they really made the most of their timeout as well, and it was that same thing. It was aggression, and it feels like both these teams play their best when they're playing very aggressive. Banana Head almost getting a chance
got
there.
The bump.
Yeah, there's the bump that was so effective for them last time, but it looks like Ground Zero will be able to clear it out eventually.
Eventually, maybe. I don't know, Forkidden, they're making it difficult.
They're
Scrub hiding in the corner. He gets open. It's super lucky, makes it 1-0.
And it's off the aggression. They just gave no time for breathing. You can see those quick cuts, no deep rotations coming out, and it gets the first goal that they needed.
Forkidden needed the timeout to recharge the batteries, to sort of rewind the toys and get them at full strength. Once again, we are seeing them once more in Ground Zero space. I mean, look at this. Amphis can't do anything without multiple Forkidden members just immediately attacking the ball.
Yeah, you can see Super Lucky going in there as well. Express getting a really nice dribble out, already beating 2 teammates. And Ground Zero, they're not letting off the gas either. This is going to be a fast game 3.
It very well might be, Scrub. Nice challenge, and that's another one through Forkidden. They're back with a vengeance, now a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Amphis going for the dribble. We've seen this quite a lot today coming out of Ground Zero, just getting dunked in that midfield, and the third player just not ready for it at all.
Absolutely, and it's usually Scrub who's finding, I feel, those midfield touches again, just being in the right spot and able to make the read. However,
speed.
We've seen a few of these, I feel like, Jake. Kickoff goals going in Ground Zero's favor.
Yeah, 124 kilometers an hour from Amphis, just smashing this into the goal. No one is saving that, and that's probably what Ground Zero needed. Forkidden was starting to run away with this.
Yeah, I think what's happened right now, perhaps not to get too into the conspiracy theory, but, you know, there was only a couple bites left in that pizza, about a minute and a half worth. Now it's done, and Amphis able to spike those shots through. 3:30 left on the clock. Let's see if Ground Zero can keep finding those powerful shots.
Yeah, plenty of time left, but it's more about how Forkidden are playing. Look at that air dribble coming out of Super Lucky. That's incredible.
Unbelievable goal right there. Super Lucky over 1, over 2, and then, well, over 1 again. Express couldn't make that save, and Forkidden retain their 2-goal lead.
And he beats Torsos. We talked about Torsos being the best 1v1 player in the region, but just Torsos, he didn't expect those mechanics. Super Lucky changing the direction so much, getting so many different touches.
There it is.
No, after that amazing goal, Forkidden just forget how to defend for a few bits.
Yeah, Super Lucky was put in an awkward spot. Almost got bumped right back into the play, actually. Express a bit too quick for them, though. And that's Ground Zero back within striking distance, back within 1. And this is a game Forkidden can ill afford to lose right now, Jake. I mean, to go down 3-0, I don't know if they have the reverse sweep in them.
Especially if you score 3 goals and still lose, that would just be so disheartening for these guys. But they're in the lead, but 3 minutes left with only 1 goal ahead. You can't be feeling safe at all against Ground Zero.
Absolutely not. Not with how fast they've been attacking, not with how powerful their strikes has been. Express can't get it past the first defender. Triple commit out of the box, though. Amphis might be able to find this, keeps it held up high. Here comes Torsos, but the defense recovers and saves.
Yeah, and great defense coming out of Forkidden. They're really starting to counteract this fast kind of backboard passing coming out of Ground Zero, defending off their backboard really well. You can see it's kind of forcing Ground Zero instead to go for these ground passes, but that's blocked too.
Amphis just slowing it up eventually. Banana Head tries to bang it through. Back and forth we go. Great little dunk by Torsos, turning into a rather big one actually. Ground Zero trying to capitalize. They play it forward. They get underneath the ball, but Banana Head will find the deep clear.
Yeah, nice clear from Banana Head, even following it up again for another clear. Super lucky. Looks like he didn't have the boost to get that clear out, and Ground Zero still peppering chances, but you can see Forkidden so organized in defense, seeming to have all the boost they need to defend.
As Scrub will play it forward, stays underneath. It's a fake. Super Lucky had a look. Unable to find the touch required. Ground Zero tries to screen it back the other way. However, Forkidden, they found the boost they need. They get the resources, and now defenders are missing once again. Amphis, nice read from underneath. Super Lucky, awkward spot. Does slow down the first shot. Scrub saves the second, and Banana Head, no! Doesn't find the touch to go the other way. Leaves it for Scrub versus Express, who wins out.
Yeah, there's a chance there for a counterattack, but still you can see Forkidden so quick to rotate back. Ground Zero feels like against any other team they would have 3, 4, 5 goals by now, but no, they're still locking out this Ground Zero offense and looking so dangerous on these counterattacks, but Ground Zero quick back too.
Forkidden after a timeout really does look like an entirely different beast right now as they're looking for yet another goal. Torsos throws it back to Express, who is there. I love, though, that brief look where you see Torsos just surrounded by 3 blue cars, desperate to make the read. As Express almost gets 1 goal in, 1 minute remaining. Ball comes off the backboard, Scrub pushes it to safety.
Yeah, Forkidden, they still want to extend this lead. They've got to be feeling so nervous in defense. They're playing so well, they're shutting out Ground Zero, but at some point, something is going to happen, whether it's a small mistake or a crazy mechanical play out of Ground Zero. Forkidden, they really want a 2-goal buffer right now.
They almost desperately need it. However, as the time keeps working against Ground Zero, they might have to settle for 1, and I think they'd be quite happy with that if they do. 30 seconds remaining. Last chance, essentially, for Ground Zero. They're making defenders miss. Scrub now alone. Amphis nearly gets there, but barely, just holding on. Scrub makes the save.
Yeah, and he might actually get the counterattack as well. Looks like that's going to go in, and clutch plays from Scrub. Amphis dribbling on him, but so calmly defends it, and then gets the quick counterattack to secure game 3.
That will absolutely secure our 3rd game in this one. No clean sweeps here in our final series. If Ground Zero is going to get that #1 seed, if they're going to be the top team in Oceania, they're going to have to earn it here. 10 seconds remaining till we move along, Jake. And I have to admit, I love seeing what happens when Forkidden gets aggressive. This looked like the Forkidden team that we saw in Game 6 and 7 last series. How long, though, can they keep this up?
Yeah, it feels like both teams play their best when they're just confident, throwing themselves at the ball, playing fast, and yeah, something about that also brings out the defense out of Forkidden, because they were exciting to watch in offense, but that defense was incredible.
And it's kind of crazy to see as well, because they did that under the pump. 6 demos coming from the Ground Zero side compared to only 1 that Banana Head was able to find, yet you wouldn't be able to tell based on how they were constantly able to hold on.
Yeah, and you can see low saves as well, only 3 saves, but that certainly does not tell the story. It was really Forkidden shutting things down before it got to that shot opportunity.
Yeah, it did feel to be the case, and now as we look ahead towards game #4, Ground Zero, they're going to have to bounce back after a very physical game, back to that style that kind of stifled them before. This is kind of crazy to think right now, because I know Renegades, they will be breathing a sigh of relief if they somehow still escape today as that #1 seed. But for Ground Zero, looking ahead at Sweden, what would be going through this team's mind if they do fall short on this last hurdle?
Yeah, it would be really disappointing. I'm sure Renegades are disappointed to fall out in the round of 8 and have to, rely on Forkidden to be their savior to keep this 1st seed. Ground Zero, I'm sure their main goal always was just making the major, but they would be very disappointed if they weren't here to take this one all the way home.
I wonder if before today we asked Renegades who would they like to see represent them, if they would have said Forkidden, or if they would have gone for a more conventional answer like Direwolves or like Riot. I mean,
or
obviously right now.
Them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, right now, I'm sure they are the biggest Forkidden plans in the country, but it's just surprising to see what happens when this team does switch on, how effective they can be. They need to do it 3 more times. The odds are still stacked against them. Like, we can't get too caught up in what's happening right now. We still have to look at this. Ground Zero ahead in this series. They still are the favorites. They're still out in front, but with how Forkidden plays sometimes, you just can't help but believe.
Yeah, I mean, Ground Zero, they were still looking great last game. Just a few sloppy goals to let in. How is that not a goal? Crazy top corner shot, but somehow kept out.
Oh, Forkidden's going to be a little annoyed with that one, yet they still are aware. Ground Zero, yes, they can bleed, and now Torsos in that third member role does find Amphis with a very nice turn. Looking for the second touch, gets it over the top of one, finds the second as well. Amphis is still in form and now has a lead.
You can see how slow he was to take this. He gets the really nice touch, even barges his way through defenders mid-air to still get the exact shot he needs. And Ground Zero, that's going to be an important goal for them.
Now, I know I didn't see what I thought I saw right there, but a brief part of me looks like he got the reset off of Super Lucky. Like, I know that's not the case, but it kind of looked that way just how it played out. That was a very interesting goal for sure. Ground Zero, they're going to be relieved, though, that they find that first point.
I mean, if anyone's going to do that, that's Amphis, but Scrub continuing the big series he's been having with a great fast redirect.
Yeah, fantastic play right there. It was a full double. I mean, it looked like it could have been a dunk as well. There was a defender off that backboard just unable to find the space required. Just as quickly as Ground Zero finds that lead, Forkidden take it back, and that is why it's so hard to count either of these teams completely out of this series.
And again, a bit of a sloppy mistake there from Ground Zero. Amazing goal from Scrub, but Ground Zero did give him the opportunity to pull that off. So 1-1 again. That's a great pass. Looks like Banana Head wasn't super ready, but you can see he's going for those tricky plays that define him as a player.
It's interesting, though, because even though Banana Head wasn't ready, because of how delicately that ball was touched, it didn't really matter. Banana Head still had a chance, and I love the team communication that I would assume contributed to that. As it stands, 3.5 minutes left in this game. Ground Zero now, they get to attack. It's been a little while since we've seen this. Amphis from the top. They got the demo from Express, but no one's there to strike it through.
Yeah, we saw 6 demos last time, but we didn't really see too many goals off the back of demos, and another opportunity there, but still it's gotta make you think a bit more as Forkidden and be a little more nervous.
How does Scrub find that touch and the demo at the same time? Scrub just finding so many key plays to be that difference maker. It doesn't turn into a goal this time around. In fact, it's Ground Zero now breathing down the neck of Forkidden. However, will they be able to connect on that goal? A lot of Ground Zero's attacks have been when they've been able to find sort of these quick plays, not these sustained plays. Forkidden's defense has been too strong as Super Lucky intercepts it yet again.
Yeah, Express's pass too obvious there. It was a great idea, but Super Lucky read it from a mile away, and a good chance goes wanting there from Ground Zero.
And as we go across that middle of the field, big strike. It's not quite on target. Defense there as well. Super Lucky doesn't find the pass. Banana Head has to go for the challenge, but with 3 members stacking that right side, boost does get expended by Ground Zero. Boost obtained by Forkidden. They might have an attack here. Pass back to Banana Head off the backboard. It's going to waterfall down. Amphis pre-jumps visits. Someone knock it in, please. No, Ground Zero comes through with the save.
When do you ever see a double whiff coming out in front of their net? Forkidden certainly had no idea that was coming because no one was ready.
Too much respect being shown to their elders here, apparently, as Ground Zero take their time clearing that one out. They're still stuck on defense. Torsos has to get past Super Lucky, who finds a good touch. Scrub follows it through. Once again, Forkidden on the attack. Amphis will cross him up as blue members bump into each other. Ground Zero does create some space till Scrub almost gets the dunk.
Look how scary Forkidden are when they play this aggressive. Ground Zero just don't know how to handle it. They can hardly get out of their defense, but they also look deadly on the counterattack. Forkidden have to be a little careful about that happening.
And I feel like Ground Zero, that's where they've been looking deadliest, has been these counterattacks. When things get sustained, they look good. That's Express making it look better. Big go-ahead lead for Ground Zero.
Amphis getting the bump, Torsos getting the beautiful dunk pass, and it's a 3-man play with Express to take it home, and they have the lead in only 1 minute 20 remaining.
A lot of pressure on the Forkidden side, although in the past they were able to respond quickly. Will they do it again? Super Lucky gets the ball to the orange side of the pitch, but a nice bump from Torsos opens up Amphis the other way, wins the 51 last ton shot there. Scrub clears it through.
Yeah, Express not quite ready for that. Here's a good chance for Torsos. It's a little too fast, but Amphis almost getting the perfect shot, but Forkidden, they're holding on to this game by not letting Ground Zero go 2-0 up.
Swing and a miss from Scrub. Net looked open, but no one there to bang it through this time around. So Torsos will try to play setup yet again. Banana Head finds the defensive read. Down to the corner we go. Express trying to create some space. Eventually gets it to Amphis, who drives it straight into Super Lucky. And now Scrub will find the clear.
Yeah, and that's a big clear. They only have 40 seconds left. They need to make something happen soon. But Ground Zero, you can see they don't want to let them out of their half. But Forkidden.
That's a good pass.
That is a good pass. Banana Head doesn't get the touch he needed, though. But
Scrub's
his teammate
there,
backs
though.
him up, and Scrub can't get the shot.
Oh, it looked like it could have been the moment. Still 23 seconds remaining for Forkidden. Need to keep this ball on the Ground Zero side of the field. Challenge won by Banana Head, but no one's behind. Eventually, Scrub does get there, but this gives Ground Zero a bit of a recovery moment. Final 10 seconds. Ball above the net. Express doesn't get the read they were looking for. Scrub throwing it back towards the middle. And again, Super Lucky cannot connect. Torsos follows it through, creates the space, and Ground Zero once again advance to tournament point.
Yeah, they're at tournament point, but they have a lot more room for error now. Forkidden looking down the barrel, having to 3-0 Ground Zero to get back into this. And Forkidden, that's got to be so frustrating. They played so well, the pressure was so good, but Ground Zero just held on long enough.
They were barely holding on by the skin of their teeth on the tail end of this one, and now Ground Zero, look, the 2-game cushion, it wasn't enough, so we're going to try it again with 3. They feel, again, a little bit more in control this time, although I have to admit, that 4th game for Forkidden, that looked like the same Forkidden that was taking games off Ground Zero before.
Yeah.
However, this time it was Ground Zero who came out on top. Was this that final death blow? I do wonder.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to take 3 games against a Ground Zero playing this well. Forkidden also playing incredibly well, just so aggressive. Really eyes on them to keep it up and keep that pressure on Ground Zero.
Yes, all the eyes, all of the pressure once again on that orange side of the pitch, because it's not just winning a regional, it's going to Sweden as our region's #1 seed. It's being that top team once again in Oceania, taking the title back from the Renegades, who are forced to watch from the sideline. I feel like they should have the nerves out of their system by this stage, right? They should be able to recognize, okay, we can get this one through.
I mean, things change once you get on the match point, though. Generally not for Ground Zero, but you can see there, that final goal, the one to get them the win, it was that 3-man pass play. Everyone very aggressive, and that's really what was missing in those final 2 games where they couldn't clinch out last series. So Ground Zero, they need to keep up that aggression. It's just how they play their best.
Yeah, but so too does Forkidden. We can't see them play that passive game that we saw them in games 1 and 2 of this series. They need to stay on the ball, and I know it didn't give them the victory the last time around. I still think it's that style that gives them the best chance to win.
Yeah, difficult shot there from Torsos, but it's defended well from Scrub. This game already starting very back and forth. Neither team able to set up too much pressure.
As we do watch Torsos go back for the play right now, we'll slow it down into the corner. Scrub from underneath. Challenge not quite going their way. Super Lucky has a pass, trying to cross up the Ground Zero defenders, but puts it a bit too wide to the left. Follow up as well. Sails a bit too high.
You can see they're still looking threatening though for Forkidden. They're peppering chances, but Ground Zero rotating back so quickly. Being careful not to let any sloppy goals go in this game.
Absolutely not. That next goal could be the one that gives them the #1 spot right now, or it could be the one that leads to it all falling apart. Ground Zero very aware of the situation, you would have to think. Now back on defense once again. Scrub does get a double commit, but Amphis' touch a bit too strong to capitalize, at least for the moment. Now Super Lucky looking to play it off that backboard, finds Banana Head underneath. They don't like this look. Amphis should get the clear. Scrub slows him up for Forkidden to fall back on defense.
Yeah, Ground Zero have been getting great clears, really powerful hits, not letting Forkidden suffocate them in their own half, and Ground Zero looking eagerly threatening when they're the ones in attack.
That they are. They're looking so close to punching one through. That's a big touch from Banana Head, though. Ball off the backboard, double commit from the defense. Yet no one from Forkidden there for that read. Now Scrub slowing it down, looking to get it past Torsos. Ball's in an awkward spot. Pass back to Banana Head is good. And Forkidden strike first in game 5.
And Ground Zero just getting confused. You can see Amphis stuck here on the walls. Actually 2 big bumps coming out of Banana Head to then turn around and score the goal himself.
Angry Banana Head is best Banana Head. Get them physical. Get them looking for every single touch to be that big banger through and give Forkidden that 1-goal lead. This could be the start of the comeback. Ground Zero, they don't want to let another one slip through their fingers, however. They're on the hunt. They're looking for the goal. Banana Head with the save off the backboard.
Oh, not just the save, the double touch as well, following it himself. And Forkidden opening the scoring. It's so important. They just need to take it one game at a time, one goal at a time, and this comeback can happen.
It absolutely can, but first you've got to stop this Ground Zero attack, which is bearing down their throats. Ball does get slowed up in the corner, though, and from underneath, Super Lucky creates space, getting it past 2 defenders. Scrub just had to beat out Torsos, and we could have seen something big instead. Ground Zero maintains possession until that back touch falls a little bit awkwardly. Time given through Forkidden to sort of respond in kind, and once again, we're going to be vying for midfield control.
Yeah, and Forkidden slowing the ball down, actually beating the Ground Zero player there, but Torsos there to save the day, but you can still see Forkidden really pushing forward and making it difficult for Ground Zero to clear.
As the ball bounces off the ceiling, Amphis looks for Torsos. That should
misses.
be good. Follow-up is in. That was all planned, Jake. It was obviously going to bounce off the post. That's why Torsos was there. No misses here, right?
Torsos never misses those, so yeah, definitely big braining there. Beautiful self-pass. Little bit nervous, but that's an important equalizer.
It was a fantastic pass as well to set that one up. Great counterattack goal from Ground Zero. Don't want to sound like the broken record, but it's been their counterattack that where they've been most effective on offense.
Yeah, Ground Zero just looking awesome, looking so dangerous when they pass to each other, when Amphis is forward to do these kind of Amphis things. You can see Forkidden playing aggressive, shutting it down, but Torsos getting an opportunity on his own, but Super Lucky defending great himself.
Express is there though, shot not quite. Follow up by Torsos, saved as well that time by Super Lucky. Amphis still wants it, so does Express. Straight down the middle, a save is made. Banana Head comes up big. Torsos not willing to give up on the play though, has Express, has the touch, it's off the post. Amphis is there and Ground Zero take the lead.
The 3-man passing play again. Torsos off the ceiling, beating out the defender. Express so fast. He wouldn't have scored there. Scrub would have had the save, so beautiful there to backboard it. Amphis coming in, and the goal with only a minute 20 remaining could send Ground Zero to first seed to Sweden.
And it's fitting that it would come from all 3 Ground Zero members. Yet for Forkidden, they've still got just over a minute to respond in kind. Ball on their side of the pitch, but Scrub should be able to push it forward. Holding it up for Super Lucky, goes for the fake. Banana Head tries to find pressure in the corner, gets the touch against Amphis. Swing and a miss from Torsos, yet Amphis still nearly gets their Scrub from behind, keeping Ground Zero off balance.
We should see a very nervous Ground Zero going into this final minute. Forkidden have played so well when they're aggressive, when they have people forward, and with 1 goal down on match point, they need to make that goal happen, so expect big plays coming out of Forkidden.
They need to get it past the midfield first, and this could be dangerous. Open net won't be punished this time around. Great touch from Express, though, nearly finds Amphis. Instead finds Scrub. Banana Head cheated forward. Pass in front of the net. Amphis will find it to shut it down. 25 seconds left on the clock, and Forkidden has to play defense again.
Yeah, beautiful clear there, but you can see it's not enough. They're still passing Ground Zero. They can't keep it out
Scrub's
of their
there.
half for too long. They're still there, but they can't get it out.
10 seconds away from the #1 seed. Ground Zero has to play defense one last time. Banana Head nearly finds Super Lucky, but 2 A defenders are in the way. 3 seconds to go. Ball still on the ground. Banana Head can't pop it up, but Super Lucky can. Underneath, Amphis is there, spikes it down. Ground Zero are the #1 team.
They've done it. They've beaten Forkidden, playing so well today, and you can see the relief on all their faces. I don't think they were expecting that final to be that difficult, especially after that first series, that crazy second series, but Ground Zero clutching up in that final series to overtake Renegades. They are your 3rd regional champions and your 1st seed going into Sweden.
It's taken a few weeks. It took a couple weeks for them to reclaim that crown. Going back to the first regional, things looked shaky. Going to the second regional, they looked a bit better, but now they are that #1 team coming through. Forkidden, they kept it close, and this is going to be an exciting team to see in the future. However, right now, it is all Ground Zero. They are the victors of pretty much all of Oceania.
It was a hard-fought victory as well. I love to see it. We've been talking about the rebuild of the region and Forkidden showing it off right there. Again, I'm happy with how they performed, but when it really counts, when it gets to that third series, we finally see Ground Zero really step it up.
Yeah, just playing so aggressively, scoring those goals that you just see Ground Zero score when they're at their best, and Forkidden putting up such a great fight, but it just wasn't enough.
I still feel like we saw the most consistent Forkidden, though, that we've seen. Yes, there were a couple errant games in this series, but even in a lot of their losses, they were taking that fight to Ground Zero, and Ground Zero had to overcome this super hot team, and I think that's the best way for a team like Ground Zero to get that #1 spot. It wouldn't have been as fun had they just been gifted it. They had to earn it, and for that, hats off to them.
And that's what we've been looking for ever since the last regional, where they went all the way to the wire against Direwolves in those games 4, 5, and 6. This is what we saw. A Forkidden roster getting aggressive, challenging, shutting down opponents' time on the ball. And it's such a consistent play style. It really helps them with their mechanics, because when they're in attack, they actually get to let those mechanics fly rather than when they were just constantly sitting on defense for too long.
I'm really looking forward to watching this Forkidden. It really feels like they've grown. They've really figured out what was going wrong, and they were that team of low lows and high highs, but it feels like they've really upped their consistency, upped the best that they can show as well, and the top teams have certainly got to be scared moving forward.
Especially going into the next winter split, we're going to be seeing, I think, Forkidden hanging out there. We've also got Juice Bandits, who got their first ever top 4 this weekend. They could be a team. And the thing I'm looking for in this region isn't just your Ground Zero sitting on top as usual, your Renegades, a 2-horse race. That doesn't push everyone. But when the lower teams start coming up, start causing upsets, that pushes everyone forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a lot of pushing going around in that series. I think that final in particular had more bumps and demos than we've seen all regional long. We're all talking about what we're looking forward to seeing. I still am excited to see how Ground Zero does shape up. Ever since RLCS, I've been wanting to see this team internationally. Now they get that #1 seed back, and I'm so keen to see how far they can go.
It's time now, of course, to talk to the winners. It's a big congratulations to Ground Zero and Jimma coming on to the broadcast. Coach of Ground Zero. Mate, you were meant to go in RLCS Season 8. You were meant to go in RLCS Season 9. You were meant to go in RLCS Season 10. You've coached 3 different teams to international lands, and you finally get to actually go. How does it feel?
It's hasn't sunken in yet. I mean, I've sort of just focused on this weekend, but I mean, look, it looks like it's going to happen. Every time I think it's lands on the menu, it doesn't end up happening. So look, I mean, until I get on that plane, it might just sink in. But in the meantime, yeah, hopefully I can celebrate soon.
I have to ask, though, because focus obviously was a very important part for this team in order to get to the stage where they can find that #1 seed. Yet, to maintain that focus over multiple weekends, over multiple long series, what are you telling that team? Are you keeping them, keep focused on that #1 seed goal? Are you focused more on the team in front of them? Where were you diverting their attention to keep them moving forwards constantly?
Well, right now, I'd probably say our biggest opponents is really ourselves in a way. We're always looking at where are we currently and where do we need to move next? And so we just keep on top of that, right? We can see that we get a lot of burnout here and there. There's a long off season, so for the most part, we just train that stamina. We made sure we're in for the long haul, and we came through today, fortunately. So we're slowly building back into that match fitness, I think.
I do like the subtext of that your biggest opponents are yourselves.
Yes.
Torsos, we had the ego earlier, and now it's coming in just a little bit underneath there, Jimma. Come on.
I've made land once, and here I go.
Actually, I'm kind of curious. A real quick follow-up question as well. What is your thoughts on the just plain cheese pizza selection from Amphis? I thought you'd be coaching him for a bit more variety as well.
I mean, yeah, look, the only thing I was worried about was he would get greasy fingers, right? So I just said, look, wipe your fingers down, make sure there's no accidental backflips, and we should be fine. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you're excited for some international Rocket League. I know we all are, and it's going to be a bit crazy because it's been so long, but do you have some predictions for your team with how you think you'll place at the major?
Yeah, look, I mean, we got a lot of, growth to do. We recognize a lot of our weaknesses. I mean, Renegades certainly revealed a lot. Like, they've come in really strong. Forkidden have come out looking really good as well. So, it's really hard to position ourselves. I mean, it's going to be a battle of play styles at LAN, but look, I mean, we're really relying on, hopefully we can figure it out in the short amount of time. And I mean, I have to back up Torse, right? He wants to beat NRG, so I guess that's going to be our goal. So, yeah.
What's the battle plan, by the way, as coach? What are you doing over the next few weeks?
Look, it's just really ironing out the final creases, right? I mean, we can't reinvent the wheel. Hopefully just get some great scrims in. Like I said, we've had the fortunate opportunities of Renegade sort of, revealing a few holes in the hull, right? So we got to, plug a few holes and chip away at some of our gaps, right? So it's just really ironing out, just get into the best form we can and just make sure we're really confident in what we bring overseas.
Speaking of overseas, I have to ask right now that it's all coming together. What are you looking forward to most being in Sweden? Obviously, LAN aside, there's got to be some sightseeing, something you want to do. Like, how are you going to enjoy yourself as much as possible when you're over there? What gets you excited?
Hey,
honestly, it's
coronavirus.
I mean, look, as much as I love
forgot how the world is right now.
Things have opened up here in Queensland, all right? I just assumed it happened everywhere.
I mean, look, Max, I mean, as much as I dream about doing all that, I can't. But you know what? Even if I could go out and sightsee, I'm just really looking forward to boot camping a lot of these international teams, right? I've never had that experience. I can only infer from what I see overseas on how these EU and NA teams play, right? So honestly, I'm just looking forward to the exposure of different play styles and then seeing how that actually, how we basically will meet that challenge, right? So just really looking forward to that.
All right. Well, I know you're a man of many words, so take the stage. Let us know who you want to shout out. Anything, just say whatever you want, mate.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, big shout out just to Ground Zero for supporting us through this one. Obviously all the boys at Amphis, Express, Torse, really coming through. I mean, we had our backs against the wall for a while, so the resilience is really good. Just to everybody who helped us out, in scrims and warm-ups and just help, and even having a good loss here and there is fantastic. And then to Dan, right? So obviously Daniel Bernard, excellent help to the team, got us right into form with our sleep. So yeah, got to be thankful for all that.
Awesome, and I do see you growing the beard. I hope that we see you on stage with a nice long beard, caveman, just to help represent me a little bit at the scene. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you there, mate.
No worries. Thank you, everyone.
I don't know.
A bit of a
like
longer interview because we love Jimmer, right? He doesn't get many chances to talk, and he loves talking. So
I feel like his beard length is the right one, though. Like this is the right beard length, Yummy. If anything, you should be trimming down to the Jimmer level.
That's not enough to hide what's underneath here. You don't want to see the well, yeah. Up here, beautiful. Down here, yeah. Don't go into it.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm just so excited to see, international Rocket League again.
Yeah.
We've been in our little bubble in OCE, and like Jim is saying, it's exciting to scrim those teams to get a bit slapped around and then to figure out what you need to do to improve it. I'm expecting, Renegades and Ground Zero, they've already been dominant, but they're going to come back from this experience even better.
That should hopefully make the region better and better and better. But we do have our top 3 plays of the day, our best plays of this championship Sunday. It all started with this Goal number 3 in the grand final. Super Lucky managed to dribble over the top of everyone, took out one player, took out 2 players. Where's Ground Zero? They don't exist anymore because Super Lucky has scored.
Well, I think this is where Ground Zero's mind may have been. Number 2 play, probably the biggest goal of the season for Torsos. That was the one that got them through. It was the go-ahead goal over Juice Bandits to help qualify this team to the major, and look how clean it was. Perfect positioning.
And Torsos might have clinched it with that goal, but it was Amphis in this game 4 with the crazy touch off the roof, going to the floor pinch to beat out the defender. That clutch goal with 17 seconds left to take them to that final game. The number 1's goal goes to Amphis.
Beautiful plays for a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I want to thank everyone as well for coming along, for enjoying the weekend. It's time to look at the final bracket to see how we got to this place. At Renegades, you saw them lose in the first round. We thought that Riot Gaming might go all the way, but it was for